Just imagine doubling your customer base overnight just by moving up a few spots on Google. And that's the kind of power that ranking on Google businesses can have. So in today's email, I'm going to show you the power of knowing your potential, the ranking calculator that I've devised for you that's free, the snowball effect of higher rankings. So let's face it, almost every business owner dreams of ranking number one on Google. But why? I mean, has anyone actually calculated what that actually means? Well, because it means more customers, high quality leads, and often the freedom to be selective about who you work with. Now, I've helped countless businesses achieve this dream, and in most cases, they see results much faster than they ever thought possible. But here's the thing, most people think ranking higher is a complex process. Well, it's not. In reality, you can often get better rankings by just using your own data and focusing on what your customers are actually searching for. So you don't need complex SEO skills, you don't need black hat methods or risky tactics that might get your profile suspended. I'm Zane, and I'm currently developing a system that even beginners can use to rank faster, easier, and without the headache. So let's take the power of knowing your potential. One tool I created recently as part of this system is a calculator that shows you the actual revenue potential if you ranked number one on Google. It's based on real customer data and provides an accurate forecast using information that's relevant to your business, like customer value and conversion rates. So with this tool, you'll be able to see clearly, down to the dollar or currency or whatever you have, no matter what you use, the difference you'll see is what happens if you ranked number one compared to where you currently rank using your information and your data. And here's the best part, just one ranking increase can drive hundreds of new customers your way and add thousands in revenue. It's not an exaggeration, it's a simple power of going on a ranking higher system. So, how does the ranking calculator work? The calculator helps you understand the financial impact of climbing the rankings. I've made it really simple. All you need to do is just plug in 4 key metrics that you can get hold of right now. Number one, know where you currently rank. So where do you currently sit in the search results? You've probably got a good idea whether you're in the top 20 or not. If you're outside the top 20, we'll call it 20. If you're inside, then you should know whether you're 5 or 6 or whether you're top 10. You should pretty much know that. There are plenty of tools that show you where you rank. Next thing, monthly interactions. Well, you get this by going to your Google business and it will show you what quality interactions you've had with your business profile. So there you'll see whether your Google business profile is showing up and how many interactions you have each month. The next one is customer conversion rate. So what percentage of your customers turn into paying customers? So normally this can start off around about 1 to 3% for really difficult businesses, but it can go a lot higher as well. Now, bearing in mind that you're talking about these monthly interactions are from people that are already going to your website or they're already giving you a call, they're already a quality lead. So the conversion rate's normally a lot higher. And then finally, what is the lifetime, the LTV of a customer? So you should know what the value of your customer is, a lifetime value. So if a business starts off with you and they start then doing business with you, what are they worth financially to you in their lifetime? So let's put some real data into this. I'm going to give you some examples now. So I take a bridal shop. It ranks number 46 at the moment for the keyword bridal services. And that's pretty much what I found when I did a search on Local Falcon. So you can see outside the top 20, so we'll call it 20. Now here's the breakdown. If I go to the Google Business Profile, there I can see in the interactions where there's calls, bookings, directions, website clicks, and so on. These are quality interactions, and there were 53 last month. So we're going to take that figure. So monthly interactions 53, they rank outside the top 20, and I'm going to go for a very conservative 3% on the conversion rate, but they'll be probably a lot higher than that. And then the average lifetime customer, well, these are wedding dresses and alterations, so average is quite high, £7,000. So this business, ranked number 46, we're going to call top 20, and it makes sense to call it ranking outside the 20th because it's so minute the difference is, it doesn't really worth looking at, it's not worth looking at. But once you go to number 1, the potential is incredible. So I entered those stats into my calculator here. So the current rank, 20th, monthly interactions, 53. We'll do a low conversion rate of 3%. So what we're saying is 3% of these 53 will become customers, and an average customer lifetime value is £7,000. So what does the calculator suggest? Well, based on real data, the calculator below illustrates the immense impact if I could get this business to number one. So if it was number one, this is the potential. So potentially at number one, it would have 3,516 people interacting with it. And of those, 3%, because that's the figure we've got here, 3% of those would give us 105 customers. And those 105 customers, if they have a lifetime value of £7,000, would come out at around about £700,000. So you can see it's just unbelievable that you can jump from this to this if you could get to number one, which is why getting to number one is so difficult. But the lesson here is there's an in-between stage from going from 20 to number one. Now it's incremental, but the point is that's your potential to get to. So even increasing this to say top 10 will have a big impact on your £7,000. It will then end up closer, not that close, but closer to this figure here. And the only way you can really understand how this works is to put your own figures in and see the potential. So it would be great if that was available and free. Well, of course it is. In the case above, it's mind-blowing the potential number one has. And if you could get that, then just think about the lifetime customer value. So the conversion game by interaction type, it's just worth bearing in mind as well that different types of interactions do have different conversion rates. So if you get a lot of website clicks, you'll get a conversion rate between 3 to 15%. If you get a lot of phone calls, that's even higher because they're actually able to interact with you. And that can go from between 10 to 30%. That's the typical. And if it's to do with directions, they're actually visiting you in person, it can go anything from 20 to 40%. So every business is different. There's no set rule here. You should know that from how you interact with your customers. So knowing your average conversion rate is valuable. But if you don't have it on hand, then you can use those guidelines I've given you there to be realistic. With these numbers, the calculator then becomes a powerful tool to visualize and see the importance of strategizing on the very key words that your customers are using. So there's a picture here of my ranking calculator. If I click it, it takes you through. So for those with email, you'll be able to go straight through to it for free. The snowball effect of higher rankings. The one final benefit of higher rankings is the fact that it will boost your customer reviews and positive signals to Google. So the more people coming through, the more interaction you get, the more ranking. So it gets easier to stay at number one once you get higher rankings. Higher rankings bring more customers, which means more reviews, more credibility. It creates a snowball effect. Each bit of added visibility builds on itself, accelerating your climb. So I've got a link here to get the calculator, which I'm going to go to for those that are watching this as well on the podcast. And to try to calculate and see your business potential for yourself, then the small step is just a case of putting these in, and it can mean thousands in new revenue for you. So I just go to my PS that the calculator is just the beginning of what I'm doing at the moment. I'm building something quite big, I have to say, a complete powerful system designed to make ranking number one on Google not just possible, but inevitable. Get ready to make some serious leaps in your rankings soon. Now, if you want early access to this, when it's ready, then you need to hit reply and say I'm in. If you're listening to this, you need to go to my website and contact me that way, and I'll give you that. Now, for those watching as well, I'm just going to click on my calculator and you'll get an idea of how it works. So again, I explained just what we've gone through here, but if you click on here, you can actually edit it as well. So you can put in your figures. So say you were ranking, say, top 5, then you'll see that because of these figures, then it will change these figures. So obviously, if you're already ranking number 5 and you get, say, 200 interactions, but your conversion rate's different, you'll get an idea of how this works out. Basically, you just need to fill these 4 figures in here, and these will take care of themselves. So hopefully you'll find that particularly helpful, and it's totally free.